Oh, it just smells like straight E85. Stock H2 down like it was nothing. Spanked a Lambo, went on by him. That thing's so fast. It's so fast. Oh. You gotta be careful next to a stretch bike. What up, guys? Heading out to race the twin turbo Lamborghini again. Our rematch is finally happening. We're going out to meet up with them right now. So they got new tires, I believe, but other than that, it's pretty much the same. So hopefully they hook a little bit better this time. And it's going to be a showdown, that's for sure. I've got AJ back there on my new Carbon Edition, has finally landed. This is basically the first ride he's riding it. I haven't even really done much to it. I haven't even ridden the bike, really. I took it around my neighborhood. I'm going to do a first ride on that bike probably in a few days here for you guys. I'm super impressed with the dash on that bike. It's way nicer than this one. Lost a little bit of traction there going over that freaking overpass. I hit that bump on the overpass and the back tire broke loose. All the Tweety birds, I can hear them in my mic, I can hear them in your mic. It's just blow off valve noises all over the place. Man, that bike needs an exhaust like nobody's business. I've never heard an H2 sound like a scooter. I think we're actually going to be making hits past Brock's. So I mean, Brock's, if you want to sponsor somebody local, we're pretty much going to be making hits right past your shop. It's coming up a little bit there. Alright guys, we're meeting up with the 2015 Huracan here. It has a Sheepy race twin turbo kit on it. He said he's making roughly about 1200 wheel horsepower on this kit. The H2 Carbon is 100% stock here. So this is a 2019 H2 Carbon. These things make roughly about 200 at the tire. They're around 230 at the motor. So that will be AJ riding that bike. And then I'll be on the 2016 H2, which is going to be H2R cams, a intercooler, and stage 3 supercharger gears, Adams swing arm. It makes roughly right around 300 at the wheel. So we're going to go out and do some higher mile per hour rolls so that he can see if he can get traction on it. And same thing for us because second gear is a little iffy. So 80 mile an hour starts should be the sweet spot on this. But we're going to do some testing. We may do a couple different mile per hours. Alright guys, so we are going out to make some hits. I'm giving the Lambo the hit every time to make this a little more fair. Yeah, second gear, 80 miles an hour will put me in the you done up area, son. You should definitely start in second. That wheelie control system holds you. First, it may try to kill too much power, I think. And that bike makes a ton of power in the mid-range being stock. Well, because it's stock, the throttle plates actually start closing around 10,000 RPMs. So the power graph kind of goes like this and then starts trailing off and dying up near the top when it's stock. Yeah, guys, so they're going to get the hit. He is going to hit at the same time as the Lambo because he's on the stock H2. And then I'm going to let both of them take the hit and then give it everything she's got. And we're going to see how this ends up. We're starting from about 80 miles an hour so that they can get traction, I can get traction.
And that way he's worried about his clutch basket because he's right on the edge of it, so 80 miles an hour will be nicer for that. I'm also going to link their Instagram accounts and everything down low, whatever they want me to link for you guys so you guys can find them, because they came out and met up with me to do this run. He knows going into this that he's probably going into a slaughter being a 300 horsepower H2. So shout out to them for making the drive up here and running. Should be a blast. Yeah. Oh man, rolling anti-lag. Well, we can just do a hit. Get up here. That thing's savage. That thing is savage. He's doing 60. Get up here. Ran that stock H2 down like it was nothing. Spanked a Lambo, went on by him. That thing's so fast. It's so fast. 1200 horsepower, Sheepy race Lambo's no joke. But it ain't got enough for the H2. Oh yeah. That thing sounds nasty when it's spooling. I tell you, the last time we raced, he didn't have tires that were good, and I didn't have a clutch that was good. We both got that sorted out. These things are savages. Oh, they want it again, do they? Oh my God. When you load this thing up in second gear and get it really high up in the RPM range, I mean, where it just hits that meat of the band, where it's just savagely fast. This thing takes off like a rocket. So is it a pretty good run between you two? Did it feel like you were moving backwards at 200 miles an hour when I came by you there a minute ago? You get over here. Get on my side. I'm gonna stay next to you guys. That was a good race. We let out of it a lot to stay back there with them. Those two are a good, very good matchup. That thing is so fast. 1200 wheel horsepower Lamborghini, stock 2019 H2 carbon. It's pretty much down to whoever gets the hit. It was back and forth a little bit. He got him on one race. I think the Lambo got a few others. It's hard to tell when they're gonna, because obviously we gave them the hit. I think a heads-up race between the two of them would be pretty dead nut. This rocket ship of a missile, though, we need a fighter jet or something to come sit next to this thing. Freaking find Starscream out here. Maybe he wants to do a 40 hit. That'll be a good run. We'll have to my turbo Busa in this H2 will be a savagely good run. It's gonna be, I think the H2 is gonna be faster off the hit than my turbo Busa, which is gonna be around 600 wheel horsepower. But the Busa up top's just gonna freight train this bike, I think. No burnouts? She dead hooked. She dead hooked. She's a savage. Dead hook, I think it's time to go up one more tooth in the rear and see if second gear can hang on. I can drop it down a couple more PSI. Oh man, yeah guys, we're doing the half-mile event next weekend, so I'm gonna be racing all kinds of savagely fast vehicles. Lots of twin turbo supercars. There's gonna be other 300 horsepower H2s at the meet. One of my buddies is buying an 1100 horsepower turbo LS RX-7 right now that he's bringing next weekend. It's gonna be bananas. That car is super dope. It looks sinister with those turbos sticking out the back and no bumper. That thing is savage. God, that carbon looks so sick. Kawasaki, primo job on that bike. Bad job on that exhaust. Get rid of that head. You feel kind of like a boss rolling into a gas station with a twin turbo freaking Lamborghini and 2 H2s. Literally look like the Decepticons rolling into a gas station right now. That thing's nasty.
Alright guys, we got out and did some hits. We couldn't really get real high up. Traffic was a little heavy. So most of them we were letting off, I don't know, 150, 160, maybe a little more than that. But we got some really good hits. And this thing is outrageously fast. Outrageously fast. He's gonna upgrade his clutches and we're gonna go out and do some more hits. He was starting to slip on high boost on the clutches, so near the end he backed it down a little bit. But this is by far the best race I've ever had with a street car on the H2. I think if he gets the high boost clutches, I think it'll be a really good run. Savagely fast. H2 looking like Starscream like always. Basically just bolt-ons, right? What is this, exhaust in it too, basically? So is it built motor?
No.
Or stock motor?
Stock motor.
Okay, so what all does it need to hold that kind of power?
It'll hold where it's at. I just need the clutch.
Oh, okay. So
Clutch is a 9-plate. I need what they call Pro Max to really hold the power.
okay, so is the clutch stock right now?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's upgraded.
It's upgraded. You just need the bigger clutch. Yeah.
Because we're probably around 900, 950 torque.
Okay.
The clutch is only rated at 800.
Oh, okay. So it just can't handle the torque.
And these things are known because it's got the basket around the clutch.
Yeah.
Well, these things at this power level can plus that basket and just grenade the whole train.
Well,
and that's the one thing I was telling her. I was like, I'll make a couple hits, but that's what I'm really scared of is grenading the whole transmission.
right. Well, that's one thing we have in common. The H2s have big clutch issues.
Don't they have upgraded baskets or anything?
So mine is more so in the slipping. They're really picky on oil, and I gotta basically change the oil every 500 to 1,000 miles, and put it only likes AMS oil. Like I was running Mobil 114, it started slipping. I've got upgraded springs on it, but at the power level I'm at, it's like maybe 3,000 miles I'll get on a clutch, and then I gotta put a new clutch in it.
Yeah, and that basically the same thing. This is wet clutch. All this
okay,
stuff.
so it is wet.
It's
So
same thing.
super picky on oil and all that stuff.
Yep.
But the motor's all stock though, right?
Motor stock. Right.
So how much can these motors handle?
I think it can hold up to like 20 pounds of boost.
Oh,
So,
really?
I don't know what that equals. Maybe 2,000 horsepower.
2,000? That's pretty good. How many pounds of boost are you running right now?
The first run was in 17, and the second run was in 15.
Okay.
So a little
17
down
and
to
15.
Yeah.
She boogies for sure. Oh. I like how you powder coated everything white.
Yeah, I was like, man, it matches the car. So
That looks really nice.
even if I sell it, it's all like.
Well guys, We got some hits in. I took down an 1100 horsepower, or I'm sorry, I took down a 1200 horsepower at the tire Lamborghini. It was so much fun. Those guys are such great sports. They come out every time. It's a blast every single time they come out. What do you guys think? Do you guys like this? Do you think you have something for the H2? Let me know down in the comments what you think it will take to beat this bike in a car. For a car to be able to keep up with an H2, I don't think you guys understand how impressive that car has to be to keep up with an H2, much less do that well against a highly modded H2. Unfortunately, traffic was a little heavy, so we couldn't run it out real high in the top RPM. We were letting out probably 4th gear for me. Most hit 5th and 6th gear on this bike are the boogie gears. That's typically where time and space start to warp, and anything that's next to me is not next to me anymore. Well guys, the Lambo was savagely fast. It was a pretty good run for a stock H2. The full kill mode H2 was probably a smidge too much for it at that power level. As always, like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Till next time, guys.